Bullish sand value forecast is $1.0130 to $3.8797. The Sandbox, SAND, cost could likewise reach $5 soon. Bearish sand cost expectation for 2022 is $0.7354. In the Sandbox, SAND, cost expectation 2022, we use measurements, cost designs, RSI, Rival, and other data about sand to examine the future development of the digital currency. The Sandbox, SAND, current market status. Cost of the Sandbox, SAND, is $0.825329 with a 24-hour exchanging volume of $257,579,550 at the hour of composing. Notwithstanding, sand has diminished by almost 9.1% as of now. Besides, the Sandbox, SAND, has a circling supply of 1,499,470,108 sand. Right now, the Sandbox, SAND, exchanges digital money trades like Binance, Upbit, OKX, Bank, Whitebit, Huobi worldwide. What is the Sandbox, SAND? The Sandbox, SAND, is one of the well-known play-to-procure, P2E, gaming tokens in the metaverse field. The Sandbox is a blockchain-based 3D metaverse game and SAND is its local token. SAND was sent off as an ERC20 token in 2011. SAND has an extensive variety of purpose cases inside the Sandbox game. Essentially, SAND fills in as the section pass for clients to enter the game and works with exchanges on the stage. Later on, they can utilize the token to modify their game symbols and purchase land on the metaverse. Besides, it is additionally conveyed in exchanging game resources on the Sandbox Commercial Center. It awards casting a ballot rights to its holders through its local DAO. Clients can likewise stake sand tokens to procure rewards. The Sandbox keeps on supporting the method involved with decentralizing standard gaming. Significant genuine elements have become setting their foot into the Sandbox metaverse. The Sandbox, SAND, value expectation 2022. The above graph of the Sandbox, SAND, spread out the plummeting channel example. Dropping channel, otherwise called the falling channel. A dropping channel is shaped by two equal trend lines. The upper trend line, which joins the highs, and the lower trend line, which joins the lows, run parallelly downwards. This example is the trait of a negative market. Presently, the Sandbox, SAND, is in the scope of $0.8160. Assuming the example proceeds, the cost of sand could arrive at the opposition levels of $0.9184 and $1.0108. On the off chance that the pattern switches, the cost of sand might tumble to $0.8085. The diagrams show that the Sandbox, SAND, has played out a bullish pattern throughout the last month. In the event that this pattern proceeds, sand could run alongside the bulls, overwhelming its obstruction level at $3.8797. In like manner, on the off chance that the financial backers betray crypto, the cost of the Sandbox, SAND, could dive to nearly $0.7354, a negative sign. The Sandbox, SAND, value forecast 2022, Rival, Mama, and RSI. The relative volume, RVOL, of the Sandbox, SAND, is displayed in the diagram beneath. It is a sign of how the ongoing exchanging volume has changed throughout some stretch of time from the past exchanging volume. As of now, the RVOL of sand lies beneath the end line, demonstrating feeble members in the latest thing. Additionally, the moving normal, Mama, of the Sandbox, SAND, is displayed in the outline above. The Sandbox, SAND, cost lies under 50 Mama, present moment, so it is in a downtrend. Presently, sand has entered a negative state. Consequently, there is plausible of an inversion pattern of sand whenever. In the interim, the overall strength file, RSI, of the sand is 34.40. This implies that the Sandbox, SAND, is in an oversold state. Notwithstanding, This implies a significant value inversion of SAND might happen in the impending days. Along these lines, merchants need to painstakingly exchange the Sandbox, SAND, Value Expectation 2022, ADX, RVI. Allow us now to take a gander at the typical directional record, ADX, of the Sandbox, SAND. It assists with estimating the general strength of the pattern. The marker is the normal of the extending cost range values. This framework endeavors to gauge the strength of cost development in the positive and negative bearings utilizing DMI pointers with ADX. The above graph addresses the ADX of the Sandbox, SAND. At present, the ADX of SAND lies in the scope of 19.9350 and in this manner, it shows a frail pattern. The above diagram likewise addresses the overall instability file, RVI, of the Sandbox, SAND. RVI estimates the steady deviation of cost changes throughout some undefined time frame. The RVI of SAND lies over 50, showing high unpredictability. Truth be told, the RSI of the Sandbox, SAND, is at 34.40, consequently affirming a potential purchase signal. From the above graph, we can decipher that the value changes of ETH in SAND are moving in a comparative pattern. This demonstrates that when the cost of ETH increments or diminishes, the cost of SAND additionally increments or diminishes separately. The Sandbox, SAND, Value Expectation 2023. Assuming the declining cost activity totally dials back in force and the pattern switches, the Sandbox, SAND, could most likely achieve $7 by 2023. The Sandbox, SAND, Value Forecast 2024. With a few overhauls in the organization, the Sandbox, SAND, could enter a bullish direction towards raising a ruckus around town mark. Assuming the coin gets the notice of significant financial backers, SAND could mobilize to hit $9 by 2024. The Sandbox, SAND, Value Expectation 2025. If the Sandbox, SAND, supports significant obstruction levels and keeps on being perceived as a superior venture choice among the financial backers for the following 3 years, SAND would energize to hit $11. The Sandbox, SAND, Value Forecast 2026. If the Sandbox, SAND, supports significant opposition levels and keeps on being perceived as a superior speculation choice among the financial backers for the following 4 years, SAND would energize to hit $13. The Sandbox, SAND, Value Expectation 2027. If the Sandbox, SAND, supports